Hi, my name is Raven, and the neurological based behavior that I am going to be discussing is ADHD, more specifically, learners with attention deficit hyperactivity disorder. What is ADHD? ADHD is a brain condition that is often first identified in school-age children when it causes disruption in the classroom or problems with schoolwork. Currently, there are three types of ADHD that are being recognized. The first, ADHD, predominantly inattentive type, is when children have trouble paying attention to details, difficulty sustaining their attention, problems with organization, and are easily distracted. The second ADHD, predominantly hyperactive impulsive type, is when children are fidgety, they keep leaving their seat at inappropriate times, or there's excessive talking coming from them. And then there's the third type, ADHD combined type, where there's problems with children awaiting their turn, they like to interrupt others, and they're very impulsive. Typical classroom behavior in students that have ADHD. Restlessness, they sometimes act impulsive, meaning they can't control their impulses. There's a lack of focus, which impairs their ability to learn properly. They're easily distracted by noises, passerbys, or their own thoughts that they often miss vital classroom information. And this is important when dealing with students that may have ADHD because their self-esteem is very fragile. It's important to be mindful of how you engage and interact with them and for their other students. If you see that they're being distracted or that they are distracted by something that's going on, you don't necessarily want to call them out on it in a very rude or crude way that's going to draw attention to other students because that could ultimately impair their self-esteem. It's important to discuss and develop some kind of behavior plan with the parents and maybe post it by the student's desk so that when these typical classroom behaviors arise, they can immediately self-correct. And then there's a lot of sometimes jumping, twisting, fidgeting, moving in ways that make it difficult to teach, but also difficult for these students to learn. Classroom challenges. Typically, students with ADHD may find it more challenging to be in a classroom setting because they often have problems with their working memory, their delayed inner speech, and by inner speech, I mean the thought process that you come up with when you're responding to someone or a question. You always think of what you're going to say before you say it, and sometimes that can be delayed for students, so you want to give them that extra time to really process their words so that they can have a thoughtful response. They have trouble controlling their emotions and their arousal levels. They're quick to show their temper when confronted with frustrating experiences, and they may have difficulty analyzing problems and communicating solutions to other students and the teacher. List of strategies. Make learning fun, not just for the students that you may have with ADHD, but for everyone. Play games with them, draw pictures with them, allow them to go out and maybe run a lap around the school if you see that the students are getting restless. And by playing games, it doesn't necessarily mean bring out the Monopoly in class, but you can just make learning fun with memory cards, interactive PowerPoints, pictures for word problems, language arts lectures that allow students to draw and be creative and, create pictures that go along with stories. Just find different ways that involve multiple intelligences in different children. Invent silly acronyms. Rhyming and music are great ways to help students learn and to also keep their attention span. Divide big assignments into smaller ones. Allow children frequent breaks. And just make sure that there is a written behavior plan near the student. This written behavior plan is something that you and the parents have come up with collectively that, again, you can hold students accountable to. I hope this was a helpful, brief explanation to ADHD and dealing with learners in your classroom that may have ADHD. Thank you.